evening, jelly beans. This is Jewelry Jelly, here with Jessica, George Washing Machine, and Dubai Pistachio Jenkins. And I hope you all are having a good weekend so far. We are going to be heading back into the world of Legal Eagles with Nina Aquila, Chapter 4. It has been a while outside in the rain. Sounds like Hank's already here in full regalia. Hey, Matsuquinox, how's it going? But that's absolutely impossible. Regalia. Thursday, March 5th, 8:32 a.m. Fledge City Courthouse, Defendant Lobby B, Day 2. Hank, Milia? Nina, is it time? I am a JD. No, not yet. You've got a few minutes. What were the two of you talking about? Oh, just... We were prepping for the trial. Really? Milia? Yes? Maxie said that on the night of the incident. She saw you outside in the courtyard, in the rain. But... And Hank showed me the closed caption TV footage from the studio camera system. Closed circuit, yeah. But it shows you getting an ammo pack, putting it into the Pyron. That's impossible! There's a video of you doing it! I spent all night with Janice. You did nothing else? Spoke to no one else? Nina, if she says she didn't do it, then she didn't do it. Hank, if Milia says that she didn't leave Janice's trailer all night, then as her attorney, I'll hold that line in court today. But it means her only alibi is the one person who can't testify. Nina, I'm sorry, it's just, I was with Janice all night. I don't remember leaving or doing any of those things. You're aware that's going to be difficult for the court to accept. I don't know what else to say. She just seems so genuine. Then again, she's an actress. Hey, Nina, they're ready for us in courtroom B. The bailiffs are out there for Milia. Thanks, Dylan. I'll be out in a sec. See you at the bench. Got it. Milia, go with them. We'll see you again soon. Okay. Excuse me. So, had a good day today. I went and got my manicure and pedicure. I usually do that every summer. I got shiny pink. I don't know if you can see it that well, but got it on both my hands and my feet. Had a nice massage too. It was pricey, but it was worth it. And I had cheesesteak for lunch and got myself some little trinkets at Miniso, like the hair clip I got. It's little twin stars, of course. And I had afternoon doll club on our monthly Zoom meeting. Our in-person meeting is next week. But I showed off, you can probably see a few of them back there. I've got their outfits changed. But I wanted to show you all this. I actually haven't had a chance to showcase this. So this here, this baseball jersey style t-shirt is an official Volks Got Charity t-shirt. They have a thing called Got Charity at their special events where you can pay to draw a gotcha, and it'll include things like, for example, a Dolphy Dream t-shirt. And I got the baseball one when I was at Dalpa in LA last year. I was very happy with it. And, I mean, just pair it with a nice pair of blue jeans and a pair of sneakers, and she's ready to play catch in the park. She seems nervous. Hank? Yeah? I didn't want to upset Milia, but just before she goes to take the stand. I may only have one eye, but sometimes that gives me the clarity to see through things. And I don't like secrets. What do you... Okay, one sec. I just wanted to make this a little bit bigger and easier for me to see. Are you calling me a liar? No. But if there's anything you haven't shared with me, no matter how minor, now's the time. This case means so much to me, to the team, to our business, and to Milia. I've given you everything I can. Aren't you supposed to be some kind of legal eagle? I just got a achievement that said, someone said it, and we've got title drop. Just do your job. So much for candor. Thursday, March 5th, 8:57 a.m. Fledge City Courthouse, Courtroom B, Day 2. Well, it doesn't look like I can talk to anybody in the audience, but... I wonder what I can do. Does standing here make me feel more Chad-like? Somehow? I don't think so. I could get used to this. Wait, is that a cup holder? Hey, you, vacate the judge's bench. Sorry! Let's get to it. Got it. Did you talk to Milia? Uh-huh. And Hank? Uh-huh. Any helpful revelations? Nuh-uh. Aquila. Merlot. I trust you came prepared? I always do my homework, Chad. Then perhaps it's time for me to take you to school. All rise for the Honorable Judge Tawny. Please be seated. We are assembled here today in the matter of the trial of Emilia Norden, a resident of Fledge City. Bailiff, please bring in the defendant. Defendant, can you please confirm your name and occupation? Your Honor, my name is Milia Norden. I am an actress employed by the Valkyrie Raising Project Studio. I see. You are, if I am not mistaken, a person of some notoriety? Well, not the time to clam up, Milia. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila. My client is the star of Valkyrie Sacred Feathers, an award-winning TV show. She is also, both in character and in person, a hero to children all over the country. That's your cue, Hawk. Mr. Hawk, I am expecting you to object to Ms. Aquila opining from the defense's bench in this matter. I have yet to see an exaggeration or lie from the opposing bench, Your Honor. But rest assured I shall speak up if one is to emerge. In that case, Mr. Hawk, for the record, please explain the basis for this hearing. With pleasure. Your Honor, the accused was arrested the night before last. This followed an incident at the TV studio that forms the defendant's place of work. During this incident, the defendant's husband, Janus Duo, appears to have been incinerated. The prosecution believes that the defendant played a role in orchestrating this incident, and we intend to prove their motive, means, and opportunity via witness testimony. For clarity, Your Honor, the prosecution accuses Milia Norden of murder in the first degree.
Order!
Order! Nina, aren't you going to object? Do they know for sure that Janus was incinerated? You spotted that, huh? I thought the same. But when Chad outlines the case, he's laying out his theory about events. It's inappropriate to object at that point, unless his phrasing was so out of left field as to suggest a mistrial. Let's put a pin in that now. Ms. Aquila, Something you wish to share with the class? No, Your Honor. She seems particularly uppity today. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Hawk, for your summary of the case. Milia, Mrs. Norden, how would you prefer to be addressed? Milia, Your Honor. Very well. Milia, you stand accused of the murder of your husband in the first degree. How do you plead? No surprises now, Milia. Not guilty, Your Honor. Game on. Milia, the court recognizes your plea. Prosecution, bring forth your first witness. Okay, here we go. Hawk's about to bring out a witness who will give a statement. Listen to it. We have to focus on the little details. We're looking for an inconsistency, a flaw of some kind, which shows the witness is either lying or just mistaken. I like how they are doing a little bit of a refresher on how the court system works here. Don't worry about memorizing the statement, though. We'll be able to recap it afterward. What do you think he'll go for first? Won't he just break out the closed circuit TV right away? Not a chance. Chad knows that if you're hunting with one billet, you wait for the clean shot. He'll want to set the scene and only wheel out the most devastating evidence when the room is primed for it. If I was to guess, motive. It's where I'd start. Okay. I mean, is it here that I stand? Yes. Or there's been a serious shakeup since my last proceeding. I'm sure. Well, if there's been a change of plans, perhaps it's best. If I just stand... maybe if I was just... You're where you're supposed to be, witness. She's nothing if not consistent. We'll start slow. Can you state your name and occupation for the record? Your Honor, my name is Devona Fairchild. I work as an associate producer at the Valkyrie Raising Project TV studio. I am not an expert in television production, Ms. Fairchild. Pray tell, what does an associate producer actually do? Oh, all sorts of things. Honestly, it's hard to keep track sometimes. I deal with some aspects of planning, as well as any and all minor issues that crop up day to day, such as arranging studio functions or dealing with paperwork. The studio would probably grind to a halt without an AP. So... You're a dog's body. Credit where it's due. Tawny really has a knack for seeing through to the heart of things. Psst, Nina. What's a dog's body? It's an old-fashioned word for someone you employ to run around doing menial tasks that you don't want to do. Because... not now. From a certain point of view, yes. Your Honor, if I may. Do, Mr. Hawk. As someone very central to the life at the studio in question, we felt Devona was ideally placed to speak about the accused and victim in that context. Ah, yes, as someone who runs errands, Mrs. Fairchild, you must know the people involved extremely well. Of course. I consider Milia and Janice as personal friends. Considered would be more appropriate for Janice now. Because... Ms. Fairchild? Devona? Sorry, I think I froze up for a moment there. Ms. Fairchild, I'm sure you're nervous being in a court like this. Just explain what you said to the police. Of course, Your Honor. When all this happened, I was shocked. In fact, I was literally in shock. I didn't say or do anything for hours. But that gave me time to think about countless little things from the weeks leading up to the incident. Surely you're not about to suggest that you expected something like this to happen. No, Your Honor, but... Milia is incredible. She nails every take. She aces every photo shoot. She fills every dress. While Janice was an acting genius. He could go from a perfect gentleman one moment to a savage villain the next, at least on camera. The pair were, by my reckoning, the very definition of a power couple. And when I first met them, that's all I thought. Here we go. Then I noticed it. The needling. Just a little at first. Little jibes or barbed comebacks, said by Janice sometimes, but more often Milia. That's not true! Sure, we bickered, we were married, but saying it out of context like that...
Order!
Order! Milia, you will refrain from outbursts or I'll hold you in contempt. But... Keep it together, Milia. I recall days not so long about where the pair had I recall days not so long ago where the pair had full-blown arguments. Sometimes just the smallest things would spiral and the two of them would get despondent. More than once I heard Janice claiming that Milia had gone out late at night, riding her motorcycle through the city, and he had no idea where she was. What secure relationship sees a partner doing that sort of thing? Like the tension was building week on week. If I was to characterize how I felt about it, their relationship acted like a swan. Calm and placid on the surface, but kicking furiously beneath. So you're acting as a character witness. It seemed appropriate, Your Honor. Very well. Witness, please, move on to your statement. Witness statement. I've seen Milia disappear several times. She just vanished late at night on her motorcycle, just like that. And given Janice's unusual background, in a way, Milia and Janice have always had a tumultuous relationship. Very well. Ms. Aquila, you may begin your cross-examination. Devona paints a grim picture of Milia and Janice's marriage. Let's see if we can turn that around. I've seen Milia disappear several times. She just vanished late at night on her motorcycle, just like that. Press. Hold it! Vanish? What do you mean by that? Oh, sorry, I guess that did sound kind of ambiguous. I just mean that she'd take off. Leave. She'd head out of the studio parking lot at the drop of a hat, usually on her motorcycle. Where did she go? Well, usually, when asked, she'd say she was going to clear her head or to get some air. I've always felt her explanations left a little bit to be desired. Objection! Your Honor, the witness is drawing conclusions. Sustained. Oh, sorry, did I do something wrong? Ms. Fairchild, as a character witness, please try to only describe examples you have observed. The court draws its own conclusions based upon what you say. And given Janice's unusual background...
Hold it!
Hold it! Unusual? Given his condition. Condition? No one at the studio mentioned he had any sort of medical problem. It's from a few years back. Janice was an amnesiac. He had memory problems? I should really try to shut this line of conversation down for now. Just because I have no idea what she might say. These are personal medical concerns. I'm not sure if I can... Janice Duo is considered deceased, Devona. That means... Oh, really? Do you have a death certificate? A coroner's report? As the defense has yet to be furnished with such documentation, if so. No. I think that actually rattled him. Ms. Fairchild, are the specifics of Janice Duo's amnesia relevant to this case? You said that this happened some years ago. It was not an ongoing problem, no. Janice suffered from amnesia. File that for later reference. In a way, Milia and Janice have always had a tumultuous relationship. Hold it! Devona seems such a delicate person, but I can't let this slide unopposed. Oh, come on. Sorry? Your Honor, this is unacceptable. The witness can't just opine like this. Even a character witness. She's providing context. She's speaking without basis. Ms. Fairchild, you'll need to provide examples of specific times that this was evident to you and to other observers. I see. Oh, of course. Interviews. Interviews. As successful actors, Janice and Milia were interviewed regularly by media sources. I always felt we should refuse those requests and ask people to interview Amara instead. Amara. Another star in our stable. She handles herself more professionally. Less friction. I see. Do you feel this is important, Ms. Aquila? Yes, I believe it's important. Very well, witness, can you please add this to your statement? Interviewers could surely see there was friction between them. Nope, I see something different. Fludge City Magazine.
Objection!
Devona, you characterize interviews with Milia and Janice as worrisome. They were. But if interviewers are so incisive, why were Milia and Janice celebrated as the sweethearts of Fludge City? Well, in fact, every piece of evidence I've seen suggests they were much beloved by the media. But that's PR. That's the image, the perfect star power couple. I can understand the confusion, you see. Chad's a step ahead, as always. Both of them are actors. It's their job to put themselves forward in a different light to how they really are. That's just it. Devona, you can't just claim that everyone could see a problem, when all evidence suggests that no one could see it, and support that by saying they were good at masking their feelings. But, I'd heard them arguing in quiet moments in their trailers. I'm certain of it. Sustained, Ms. Aquila. Witness, please amend your statement. I had overheard raised voices recently from their trailers. I believe they fought a lot behind closed doors.
Hold it!
Hold it! Raised voices? Not just that even. I believe they fought. Perhaps verbally, perhaps even more. It sounded severe. Do you know what they were fighting about? The trailers are reasonably soundproof. You could hear someone arguing inside, but I think you'd have to creep up really close to hear what they're saying. I never tried, it would have been rude. But it did give me cause for concern for Milia's personal safety. Just Milia's? Janice's too. I mentioned it a couple of times to Hank, but he dismissed it. What are you thinking? Chad is trying to establish motive by painting Milia and Janice as being in a dysfunctional marriage. You never really know what goes on in private between two people. But I think we know enough to suggest that Devona may be being overly negative in her assessment. Okay, so, let's see. I'm just going to take a look at all of the evidence so far. Milia's lack of injuries. Your concern for your coworkers is noble, Miss Fairchild, but I can't help but think you're reading in more than you can prove. You said they fought a lot, yet there's no evidence of any kind of physical altercation between them on Milia's body. Objection! There are many forms of abuse, Aquila, not all of them physical. Objection! I don't dispute that, Hawk, but your witness paints a picture of a dysfunctional marriage between two partners who fight and bicker, in a manner so audible, so severe, to the degree that others around them express concern. I remind the court that the prosecution's aim here is to suggest motive for Milia's supposed actions, while other sources paint them as having a fairy tale marriage. I will concede that the truth probably lies between these two extremes. Surely you must concede that too? Order! Ms. Aquila raises a fair point. It is true that the lack of physical injuries to Milia's person does not prove her husband was not abusive. But at the same time, all marriages have good times and bad times. I speak from experience with my own late husbands. Husbands? It is not enough to point to mere arguments and raised voices to suggest a concrete motive for murder. This, to me, rings of gossip, nothing more. Mr. Hawk, the statement from this witness does not hold sway. It is the court's decision to dismiss this witness at this time. Understood, Your Honor. So, does that mean I leave? It does. Oh, good. Milia, I'm sorry, really. I just said what I thought.
Order!
Order! Miss Fairchild, I am aware that you are not accustomed to the courtroom, but my patience has limits. Please leave the chamber. The prosecution calls Jack Cable to the stand. Mr. Cable. Yes, Your Honor? Yet again I am confronted by my inexperience when it comes to your profession. My notes say that you are a studio tech. What do you actually do? It's easiest to think of me as the man in the chair. I handle the room that monitors the footage being recorded for the studio, as well as the levels for audio. I also handle the physical hardware to record and archive all of our footage. I see. Your Honor, Mr. Cable was monitoring the scene when the incident took place. Oh, so you have footage of the incident? Not exactly, Your Honor. The equipment experienced a number of power surges during the incident. We're really not sure why. So all of our footage was corrupted. Police forensics were given the data yesterday, but they're still looking over it. They're unsure if they're going to be able to restore it to anything of use. But as Jack was monitoring, he saw the incident from his perspective. Yes, I see. In that case, Mr. Cable, are you prepared to make a statement? Yes, Your Honor. Then please describe the events as you saw them. Milia and Janice got together on set to record the scene. Prep was all done, and the director called for action. Witness statement. I monitored everything closely in monochrome. Milia seemed to go off script almost immediately, after which Milia performed her own costume change into her character of Valkyrie Freya. Then Janice performed a costume change into his character as the evil prince. Milia seemed to, well, emit a burst of bright orange flame. Ms. Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. This isn't good. Jack's testimony is appropriate, and I know because I was there. But he was sitting in the control room. Can he really have seen everything that he describes? Well, I already see something really damning with his testimony.
Objection!
Mr. Cable, could you provide a little bit more info about the flames you saw just before the incident? It's like I said, bright orange flames. I've got to assume they're from the pyro system. That's the problem. How could you have witnessed bright orange flames when your display was calibrated to monochrome?
Objection!
Really, Aquila? Of all the technicalities... Order. Ms. Aquila makes a fair point. Witness, could you answer her question? Well, our cameras do record in color. Objection! That may well be true, but we're not talking about the raw footage. We're talking about what you could see on the monitor at the time of the incident. Well, it's... Sorry, I guess I was mistaken. Mistaken? Please understand, I've viewed thousands of hours of recording from the booth with all manner of special effects. But the flames looked hot. I could practically see heat haze on them. And I guess I used color as a shorthand to express that. But they were genuine flames. I mean, Janice, it happened so fast. Sustained, Miss Aquila. Witness, please amend your statement. After that, Janice was gone, and the crew were visibly shaken. Maxie was injured even.
Hold it!
Hold it! Gone? It was like he vanished once the flames hit him, as if he was incinerated on the spot. Everyone was shaken, Maxie was injured. I've seen a lot in my day from the booth, but nothing like this. What do you make of this? It matches what I remember seeing, like, on the day. Ditto. There's nothing wrong with Jack's story on the surface. But could he have really seen everything he claims to have seen from his position in the control booth? Okay, let me take another look at the let's see, a picture from just after the incident. So, like, there's nothing there.
Objection?
Whoop. This piece of evidence clearly refutes the witness's statement. I don't see how that's relevant. It isn't, is it? Ms. Aquila, please refrain from wasting the court's time. I'm going to have to penalize you.
Penalty. Hold it!
Hold it! Gone? It was like he vanished once the flames hit him, as if he was incinerated on the spot. Alright, I'm just gonna continue to press everything.
Hold it!
Hold it. Monochrome, like in black and white? But isn't the show in color? Normally, yes. I understand this was a creative decision for this emotional scene. I don't know why, I'm not a writer. But as the rest of the crew was by the stage, I was monitoring in black and white to get the full effect.
Hold it!
Hold it! I understand she does this a lot. Frequently. Surely then it's not notable that—
Objection!
Objection! Objection, Your Honor. The defense is leading the witness. If the witness finds an act notable, then it's notable to him. Sustained. Do not lead the witness to conclusions, Ms. Aquila. Come on, seriously? We try to keep the energy going when filming the show. That means we improvise some of the dialogue to make it sound more natural. But it's not normal for an actor to go off script right at the start of a scene.
Hold it!
Hold it! She changed outfits live on the soundstage? That's right. Milia's costume change is an elaborate affair. The camera feed was momentarily overwhelmed by the light. Typically, the flash paper in the costume does that. That's what dazzled the rest of this crew. And when the feed returned, Milia was in full costume as Valkyrie Freya. There's that name again. Mr. Cable, can you, in brief, explain who Valkyrie Freya is? In the show, Milia plays a magical girl like a superhero. And this Valkyrie Freya is her character's alter ego within the narrative? That's correct.
Hold it!
Hold it! A costume change? That's right. But I'm curious, do you know why Janice changed costume at that particular moment? Actually, no. I don't think it was in the script. Your Honor.
Objection!
Objection! I can save us all a few minutes, Your Honor, if I may. What is it, Mr. Hawk? Aquila? Even as Janice came out with a major deviation from the script, are you intending to assert that the surprise of this action, the mere shock from it? He's right. To go further with this infers two things. Firstly, that Milia might have activated the pyro equipment and incinerated Janice purely due to shock and surprise. Secondly, that makes her guilty even if it was an accident. The defense withdraws the question, Your Honor. Milia seemed to, well, emit a burst of bright orange flame.
Hold it!
You saw that through the monitor? That's right, I had to assume it came from the pyro equipment. He stated that it's what he saw, Aquila. Are you disputing that? You were actually in the room, if I recall correctly. Didn't you see it too? Did I see orange flames? After that, let's see. Well, here's the thing. The monitor got burned out, so I didn't even see anything. We were all completely dazzled.
Objection.
Oh, that didn't work.
Penalty.
Ow. So I think maybe the burned out monitor is what I should,
Objection.
There we go. Jack, I know you mean well, trying to give the most rounded statement possible. But you've been asked to give an account from your point of view at the time the events occurred. But you only saw Janice for the briefest of moments. And how could you see the effect on Maxie or the crew when your monitor was completely burnt out? Well, I saw an aftermath image later. It's okay, Jack. You're just trying to rationalize what happened, as we all are. But that is not what you saw. Your Honor, the defense moves to dismiss this witness on the grounds of proven unreliability. I see. The prosecution does not object, Your Honor. Goodness, Mr. Hawk, why such expedience? Ms. Aquila raises a point that, as he was in the control room, Mr. Cable's statement is not totally reliable. However, we feel it establishes enough about events to freely move on to our next witness. Very well. Mr. Cable, you are dismissed. The prosecution calls Sarah Hector to the stand. Ah, the director. Even with my limited experience of the world of television, I have some understanding of what you do. Even so, I'm not sure why I'm here. Were you not a witness to the incident in question? I was there, sure, but I didn't see anything. I find that somewhat difficult to believe. During the incident, when Milia performed her costume change, I was dazzled. Dazzled? Blinded by the effects. I wasn't able to see again until shortly after the incident was over. I see. Mr. Hawk? Yes, Your Honor. We are dealing with an incident that took place on a stage, filmed by a camera, in front of what appears to be nearly the entire staff of this studio. Do you have a question, Your Honor? Never mind. Welcome to my world, Tawny. Ms. Hector. Mrs. Oh, I see. Well, Mrs. Hector, your name rhymes with director. You're far from the first person to point it out. Sorry, it just seemed unusual. Blame my husband, Your Honor. Your Honor, as director, Mrs. Hector was, in effect, in charge on the studio floor. She seemed best placed to explain to us how things went off the rails, as it were. Very well. Are you willing to make a formal statement about the incident from your perspective? I'll do what I can. Witness statement. When I said action, Milia acted strange, like she was reading from the wrong script. I figured it was just start of season nerves. She seemed to exchange a few words with her bird, Starna, and suddenly launched into her transformation sequence. The light was dazzling. I was totally blind. Then I heard what must have been pyro effects. I started to panic, but kept sucking down the fresh air until my vision came back. When I could see again, Janice was gone and Milia was just standing there. Maxie was injured. It was a mess. Ms. Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. I can't help but feel that I'm just finding technicalities here. Still, it's all I can do, at least for now. If we can create enough ambiguity in the mind of the judge... Okay, just gonna take a little look at the evidence. Okay, so... change of plans, completely incinerated, corrupted soundstage, damaged camera, dazzled. Keys, magic, burned. Impossible for the Pyron 9000 to fire due to a short circuit or power surge. So that is probably something to And there were no special effects planned. And the soundstage... Okay. The brownout soundstage failed.
Hold it.
Hold it. Is it possible she was given the wrong script? No, while we'd only recently changed what we were filming that day, Milia was definitely informed.
Hold it.
Hold it! You had no reason to be concerned? Not really. Sometimes we need a few takes to find our groove. Hell, sometimes you spend the whole day and get almost nothing recorded. Though that's pretty rare.
Hold it.
Hold it! She talked to the bird? She does that, but that's part of the show. We dub words over Starna's squawks. In the fiction of the show, Starna can speak, so can Comet, Amara's bird. But even just in real life, Milia talks to the bird to help keep it calm during the shoots.
Hold it.
Hold it! Something I've been wondering about. You say transformation, but really, Milia's wearing the same clothes both before and after, right? That's right, the clothes just kind of fold out into the new form. Honestly, it's really impressive. But the suggestion here is that Milia used a control device in her costume to activate the pyro effects. Surely she didn't need to transform in order to do that?
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. Leading. Sustained. Your Honor, I'll rephrase. Sarah, given your expertise, would Milia have as much control over the FX pre-transformation as after? It shouldn't have made a difference. The defense would like the record to make that point very clear. The court recognizes the point you're making, Ms. Aquila. Well, that's a small victory, if nothing else.
Hold it.
Completely? My vision went to bluish purple. I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. In the moment, I was terrified of permanent damage, but it seemed to pass pretty quickly. I don't get it. Don't you do these shots somewhat frequently? We have different brightness ratings for safety. On days with a lot of FX, or very bright flashes, we issue the crew special FX glasses. Sunglasses, basically. But you didn't have those on this particular day? I can't speak for others, but certainly I didn't have mine. She's right. No one we spoke to mentioned having these glasses.
Hold it.
Hold it! How could you have been sure it was Pyro FX and not something else? Weren't you blinded? I've been doing this job long enough to know what flames sound like. But you can't be certain. I mean, okay, I was blind at the time and couldn't say with absolute certainty. But it's just what I expect that kind of thing to sound like from experience. Something about that.
Hold it.
Hold it. Janice was gone? I'm not even sure how to explain it. Once my eyesight cleared up, the spot where he had been standing was empty. But you were blind. Could he have ran out of the studio? I only lost my sight for a brief moment, and the studio's pretty big. Plus, it's not easy to move silently among all those people, cables, excuse me, and equipment on a concrete floor. I wasn't there to see it, but what she's saying seems to line up with the rest of what the crew told us. There must be something about what she said that isn't right.
Objection!
The soundstage ventilation couldn't have been producing fresh air. Ms. Hector, I'm wondering about something. You've described in vivid detail about how you were blinded by the flash, then heard what you believe were the sounds of the FX system firing up. As best as I can explain. But in that case, haven't you missed something? You mentioned what you could see. You mentioned what you could hear, but not what you could smell. Your Honor, the Pyra 9000 machine is fed by a mixture of chemicals, where the most prominent is kerosene. This burns with a very obvious odor, along with substances like cordite, to create the studio effects. The smell of these chemicals is, to put it mildly, pungent. Ms. Hector, do you recall smelling kerosene in the aftermath of the incident? No, actually, I don't.
Objection.
This is preposterous. We interviewed everyone on the scene. Every single person. Not one person mentioned the spell of something so potent as... Wait. No!
Objection.
Objection! Your Honor, it appears the opposing bench agrees with me on this. Thanks, Chad. If no one in the room could smell kerosene... You can stop now, Ms. Aquila. I can understand your point. Your Honor. Silence, Mr. Hawk. This does indeed cast a shadow on the events that took place. However, a prominent scent being left out of depositions is not, in and of itself, conclusive proof. But I am not dismissing your point, Ms. Aquila. Merely suggesting that this line of questioning may have ran its course. Do you agree? We're riding high here. Let's quit while we're ahead. Yes, Your Honor, the defense rests with regards to this witness. Very well. Mrs. Hector, you are dismissed. Mr. Hawk, let's keep things moving. The prosecution calls Lotta Eiffel. Can you confirm your identity and your purpose for being here? I am Lotta Eiffel, studio security. Ms. Eiffel. Lotta would be satisfactory, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Hawk, can you provide context for calling Lotta to the stand? Given that we heard all present were blinded, is she some sort of expert witness? Your Honor, I had originally wanted to call another witness, Maxie LaRue. However, she was hospitalized by the incident and could not make it to court. However, her actions were recorded in closed-circuit TV camera footage. So I invited Lotta, the studio security person, to walk us through this evidence. I see. How was she involved? It relates to events. On the night before the incident. Okay, it's go time. Lotta, I would like you to comment, for the court record, on these images, recorded the night before the incident. Your Honor, the defense reminds the prosecution that closed-circuit TV footage is not typically a sound basis for conviction. Without a material witness, unless the footage itself is beyond reproach. And having seen this footage, it's grainy, low resolution, and of extremely low frame rate. The prosecution concedes this. However, we wish to review the footage anyway. Very well. I've spoken to Maxie this morning and prepped for this. I'll see what a context I can provide. Go ahead.
Order.
That's the studio soundstage. I see Maxie. This was the night before everything happened. Maxie explained she was present in the studio on the night in question. I understand she was working late, that's not uncommon. She was in her salon, which has a window that looks out onto the trailer yard, does it not? That's right. But she made her way to the soundstage. Maxie told me that in the thunderstorm conditions going on outside...
Objection.
Objection! Your Honor, surely this is hearsay? Lotta can't testify as to the experiences of Maxie LaRue. It goes against convention. As Maxie LaRue is unavailable to take the stand, I will allow this to continue. However, I warn the prosecution, limit your statements to what is verifiable in the footage, or directly told to you by Maxie herself. Ms. Aquila, please speak up if you feel the prosecution doesn't respect this. Understood, Your Honor. Hopefully that'll keep Chad in check. Maxie told me that in the thunderstorm conditions going on outside, between flashes of lightning, she saw Milia outside through the window. Your Honor, the closed-circuit TV does not show the trailer yard outside. Also, there are other qualities to this photo that could be discussed, but they are more observable in an earlier photo from the same camera.
Order.
Order! Lotta, can you describe what you see in the picture? Lotta, it looks like Milia in her magical girl costume.
Order.
Order! And what does she appear to be holding?
Objection.
Unacceptable, Your Honor. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Objection.
Your Honor, we have spoken to an expert at the VRP studio. Milia is holding an ammo pack for the pyrotechnics equipment on the studio's soundstage. In fact, if I am to play the footage in its entirety, at this point, a short length of time passes without anything happening. Then, but that doesn't make sense. Milia couldn't have been skulking around inside the soundstage. When I spoke to Maxie, she said that when she was outside, she'd heard Milia and Janice's trailer. Even if Maxie said that, our witnesses have already established something today. That the trailers are relatively soundproof, enough to prevent overhearing casual conversation, at least without standing up to one with a glass or similar. And stacked up against photographic evidence to the contrary, Your Honor, the prosecution poses a difficult to accept, but seemingly self-evident conclusion at this juncture. That Milia Norden knowingly and willingly prepared the machine to incinerate her husband. That's a lie! Silence, Mrs. Norden. But this is impossible!
Order!
Order! Mrs. Norden, I will have order, or I will hold you in contempt of court. Wait. Could Milia have even done this? Your Honor, from what I understand after talking to the studio about their safety procedures...
Objection.
Before you follow that thought any further, Miss Aquila, please look at this. Your point being? Look closer. Zoom and enhance. No. She's carrying a set of keys in the picture. Please. Mrs. Norden? Mrs. Norden, please, turn to face me. Mrs. Norden, Milia. Yes, Your Honor? What do you think they're talking about? I don't know, but I don't think it's good. Look at him. Smug, sanctimonious. One of these days I want a nice, simple case where I get to have the super obvious answer in easy closed-circuit TV footage. Chad can struggle to find the answers by becoming a rodeo clown or something. I believe it is time to draw these proceedings to a close. Your Honor, I must protest. On what grounds? If my client wishes to change her plea after your momentary discussion, I would ask for a short recess. She has not. Well, I have yet to cross-examine Lotta Eiffel. Do you wish to? Do I? I mean, as a matter of process, I feel like I should insist. But what can I hope to gain? I can't dispute Chad's video footage. And Lotta's words line up with what Maxie told me. Save for some weird stuff about seeing a magic light. Probably best the court doesn't hear that. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Excuse me? The defense rests, Your Honor. In that case, the idea that Milia was able to arm the studio's equipment to fire at the right time, thus incinerating her husband, is far-fetched, but plausible. After reviewing the facts of this case, along with the compelling evidence put forward by Mr. Hawke, it is clear that any reasonable person would consider Mrs. Norden guilty of murder. I'm so sorry, Milia. We really tried. And yet, So many aspects of this incident bear strange qualities. That the incident took place in a location that is designed to bear high-quality movie footage. And yet we have no such footage, viewed by countless witnesses, who were all incapacitated. That Millia's motive for murder seems suspect at best, and the director's statements seem to lack certain critical facts about the way the equipment works. At the same time, Mr. Janus Duo is nowhere to be found and appears, for all intents and purposes, to be dead. Did we really do it? Wait for it. As I am unable to render a verdict at this time, I suggest that we adjourn for today. Both benches are urged to investigate further and restate their cases. We shall reconvene the day after tomorrow. Court is adjourned. Alright, so we made it through our first day of court without incident. We made it. This far. Oh, come on. What's that thing you're always saying about celebrating victor... Ms. Aquila. Before you leave, I would like to see you for a moment. In private. You heard her. No sweat. Are we good for the rest of the day? I could go meet up with Atalanta. Say hi for me. I wonder what Judge Tawny wants. You wanted to speak with me? That's right. When Randall said he'd arrested a TV star, I wondered of what crime she could possibly be accused. I had no idea it would be as severe as murder. Randall? Oh, you mean Detective Flatfoot. We spoke, actually. He was in charge of the crime scene, but it was strange. He left pretty quickly. I saw him later at the hospital. I see. You must not have heard. Heard what? Randall's daughter is a long-term patient at that hospital. She has leukemia. But he has good reason to make a swift exit. Oh gosh, I had no idea. If he seems a little abrupt, well, now you know why. I'll keep it in mind, Your Honor. Though right now my focus is entirely on the welfare of my client. You certainly have a knack for picking a forlorn hope, Ms. Aquila. Aquila Defense and Law has an open-door policy, Your Honor. Admirable. There are only two types of people who would take on a case that's so seemingly ironclad as Milia Norden's. You'd have to be either hopelessly naive, or you just believe her. That was uncalled for. Ms. Aquila, I do what I can to foster an air of fairness. Do not mistake that for heartlessness. I've been doing this now for a long time. From up in that chair, I have gazed down into the well of the court, into the eyes of countless defendants, of all ages, genders, and backgrounds. And in all that time, I have seen goodness that cowered in darkness, and evil that strolled amid the light. And when you look at Milia, I see something else entirely. That girl appears completely lost, and that does not tally with the matters of which she stands accused. Lost, like innocent? I am not prone to using up more of the court's time on a mere whim, but there is more to all of these events than meets the eye, of that I am entirely certain. When you sent Anya Miller to jail, did you look in her eyes? I did. I remember her face and name like everyone I've sent down. It seems only proper. Did she look lost? No. When Anya confessed, she spoke confidently. I had no reason to doubt her words. I see. Ms. Aquila, let me tell you a story. About another protege, a golden child, who studied at the feet of the master. This young woman worked directly for Taryn Kestrel, the DA, as a prosecutor. They were inseparable, and together formidable. They worked like this for years. Then, suddenly, after a high-profile case, a victory even, this young protege left the prosecutor profession altogether. This young woman, was that Anya Miller? Very good, Ms. Aquila. Anya walked out on the prosecutor's office and never looked back. It's my understanding that she and Taryn Kestrel haven't casually spoken since. What was the case about? The last one at which she acted as the prosecutor? Oh, it was of a businessman who stood accused of murdering his son. Krantz, that was his name. It was quite the scandal at that time. Why are you telling me all this? Because you've started a bright career, Miss Aquila. Truly, you're a rising star. But you're fiercely loyal, and I just want you to reflect on this. On being sure that loyalty isn't misplaced. Your point being? Anya was your teacher, and she always had the demeanor of a big sister. She was a great attorney, but before all that, she was a person as flawed as everyone else. Try to keep that in mind. I wish you the best with your ongoing investigation, but for now, I take my leave. Krantz. That name is familiar somehow. Anya walked out on the prosecutor's office and never looked back. It's my understanding that she and Taryn Kestrel haven't casually spoken since. Anya, what happened? What did you do? This is the end of the day. It is recommended that you save your game to a new file before you continue. You can also save at any time from the main menu screen. Would you like to save your game? Yes, please. Alright, we are now on to day 3. Huh? Dylan, is that you? It looks like Dylan didn't come back last night. I wonder where he is. That sound came from my office! That's an old framed picture I found when rummaging through the office. On the right is Anya Miller, but I don't know the person on the left. I wonder who she is. She's probably Kestrel. What the? That's Amara's bird. How did it even get in here? I've got better things to do. Guess I'll just have to try and catch it. Anya's picture! Thanks a bunch, Birdie. It looks like you managed to break... What the? It looks like the picture is folded within the frame. She's much younger here than I've ever seen her. But that third woman is the DA, Taryn Kestrel. But who's the middle woman? Woot! I guess that'll have to wait until we return Bird Brain over there. Woot! Okay, less of that. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to get some earplugs. Woot! Did you seriously just... Woot! Oh, come on, Nina, get it together. Birdie, you had a name. Comet? Woot? Well, Comet, I guess at least you'll serve as a conversation starter with Amara. Think you can stay still for 10 minutes while I try and get dressed? Then I can take you back to your owner. Woot! Now let's collect that bird from the office and take it to Amara. Did that feathered menace seriously turn on the TV? Are warning the public not to approach any bikers they spot in groups within city limits. Repeat, the mayor has asked citizens not to approach groups of bikers if they spot them within city limits, and to be on their guard about the seemingly unrelated series of explosions that have occurred this past week. Wow, I hope Dylan and Atalanta are okay. Okay, my feathered friend, time to get you back to Amara. Woot! Comet has joined your party. I'm willing to bet she'll be at the studio. Let's start there. I'll clean that up later. Okay, Birdie, let's head to the studio. Sorry, ma'am, but I'm afraid you can't go any further. The fire's nearly under control, but there's a risk of secondary blazes. It looks like there's been another explosion. Oh, great. Between the wreckage of these weird explosions and the construction vehicles, there's no direct way through to the studio. Maybe the long way around. We'll need to go through Centrum Park. Woot! Friday, March 6th, 8:45 a.m., Centrum Park, Day 3. This should be okay. If we just keep going, we can cut through to the other side. Woot! It's strange. Woot! It's just kind of quiet. Usually if you come to the park in the morning, you'll see joggers, cyclists. Actually, this one time, Anya and I'm talking to a bird. Woot! Let's just get this done. What was that sound? Oh, it's just some kids. They look a little young to be running around the park on their own with everything that's going on. Are you two okay? Were you playing some kind of game? We're running away from the monster! Monster, huh? What does it look like? Is it a mean old thing with teeth and claws? No, silly. Monsters don't look like that. Oh? You're wiser than you realize, kid. Then what does it look like? Like that! Oh, wow, they were being serious? Woot! Kids, get behind me. Wah! What even is that thing? Out of my way! Not gonna happen. Ugh. Oh, wow, that really stings. Lady, are you okay? Ugh, never come between a slime and their breakfast. Now move! I won't let you hurt them. Kids, is your mommy nearby? She lives just outside the park, back this way. Run, now. Don't stop until you get to her. Go! You're gonna regret that. Oh, crap. What is going on? I'd have only brought my Dragon Fantasy Arena cards. We'll just have to eat you instead. This city will kneel before the great Malfara. I don't like the look of this. Guard your tongue, vile fiend. Who said that? It was I, Comet. You can talk. Why didn't you? Young lady, I appreciate the suddenness of this predicament, but that puts us on something of an accelerated schedule. You just throw out that you're an actual, factual, talking bird, and your only follow-up is get over it. Time is short. Nina, Aquila, I came to you because you are defender of justice, hero to the downtrodden, and pure of heart. You just used your own body as a shield to defend 2 children from a monster. Your heart is pure in the ways which matter. That's all great, but I can give you the power we need to defeat these creatures, but only if you accept what I say. Let's eat them both! Fine! I accept! Then take this sacred feather. Gained item, sacred feather. Oh great, she just made a compact with QB. Now raise it aloft, and repeat these words as I whisper in thy ear. By this oath, I will keep secret the strength that I am given, and use it only in pursuit of justice. By the power of the sacred feather, I call upon the favor of Brynhildr, Valkyrie of armor and strength. Valkyrie, transform! This feels amazing! I feel like I could run 100 miles, then still go down for 10 rounds with the heavyweight champ! Wait. Why is my armor a two-piece? It's high-level armor. Plus, the form is guided by your subconscious. On some level, you must have wanted it to look this way. It does look pretty kick-ass. Hit them! Oh, those things. Defend yourself! Rah, I'm blind! Good, the flash from your transformation has disoriented these ruffians. Follow me, forthwith! What about them? All in due course, young Valkyrie. A quick lesson seems to be ordered. Quickly, this way. Now what? With the power of the sacred feather, you have taken on a mantle of great power. You are now much stronger and hardier than any normal human, but you need to practice before you take on the forces of Niflheim. How do I do that? These trash cans. Destroy them to get accustomed to your Valkyrie slash. Nina can move and attack while in her Valkyrie form. In these battles, we recommend players use the keyboard or controller for the best experience. On keyboard or controller, you move as normal and attack using the OK button / key. On mouse and touchscreen, you attack by clicking close to Nina and move by clicking further away. Try it now. Destroy the trash cans. Well done. But those were just trash cans. Yes, and you vanquished them adequately. But in case you didn't notice, I'm an attorney. I just can't go around murderizing things. Even if they are, well, monsters. These creatures are forged from the evil Queen Malfara's magic, twisted and bent to her will. Believe me, you are doing them as much as a favor as the children you just saved. Understood. Valkyrie Battle Mode Difficulty Selection. Nina has now been granted the powers of a Valkyrie, and will, at times, need to battle the forces of evil. As a player, you can choose to do this using one of two modes. Challenge mode is the default. In this mode, Nina loses health when she takes damage. If she runs out of health, you will need to reload your last save. Cinematic mode is the alternative. In this mode, Nina does not lose health. Just keep attacking and you can't fail. Challenge is for players who like a traditional video game challenge, while cinematic is for players who simply want to play through the story. We also recommend cinematic modes for players with accessibility concerns about dexterity. There are no achievements, rewards, or other bonuses tied to using challenge mode, so you should just pick whichever mode you feel suits you. After this point, you can change which mode you wish to use by using the laptop in Nina's office. Which mode do you wish to use? Cinematic. You have picked cinematic mode. In this mode, Nina will not lose health when she is struck by enemy attacks. Just keep going, and you will never fail. Are you happy with cinematic mode? Okay. Now, let's go teach those slimes a lesson. I could have sworn those graphics are the same as in Final Fight. Marvelous, simply marvelous. Magnificent, even. How do you feel? How do I feel? How do I feel? So it's real? Why, yes. All of it? I mean, mostly? Ah! Perhaps if you put your head between your knees? For what exactly? Just I'm told it can help. Okay, I think I've got a lid on that. I'm truly sorry about this, if it makes any difference. Normally, we don't reveal the truth to someone unexpectedly. Ah, someone your age. I see. Though I must say you're coping better than most. I just screamed for 5 straight minutes. Those are, in your manner of speaking, rookie numbers. But when people are first exposed to magic, it's not my first rodeo. I know the Brotherhood of Ishtar. Oh, Ramius, how's he been? Let's not get sidetracked. That was the group in the second case that they were doing. There was the children's card game case, and there was actually a secret society that was trapping evil monsters into children's cards for children's card games, and Nina had to sign an NDA. So the valiant Valkyries, even the evil Queen Malfara, they're real? It's a long story. In fact, touch your head to mine and I'll see what I can explain. Bonk. Years ago, Malfara, the great deceiver, defied the powers of Asgard and was cast down to Niflheim, the realm of despair. There, her powers grew, and hidden from Asgard's gaze, she styled herself queen of that cursed realm. A great and terrible queen of despair. She fed off all the despair of humankind. All negativity and loss fueled her, made her more powerful. She kind of reminds me of Walpurgis Night a little bit. And when she had power enough, I'm talking about Walpurgis Night from Madoka Magica. She kidnapped creatures of Midgard. Midgard is Earth, by the way. She kidnapped creatures of Midgard and turned them into monsters and tried to conquer the realms, starting here. Here? You mean Earth? I mean Fledge City. But why? Even a journey of 1,000 miles has to begin with a single step. The writers. So, gotta start somewhere. Effectively, yes. Fearful of what might happen, but bound not to interfere directly by ancient law. The Valkyries of Asgard sent I, Comet, and my partner, Starna, to Midgard. We were tasked with finding 5 special young women who could be trusted to fight the battle the Aesir could not. And you found them. Not right away. We were caught in a storm between the realms and separated. Starna was hurt and lost her memory. Sounds rough. It's unfortunately common in bad crossings between the realms. I thought Starna was lost. But I met the then 15-year-old Amara Walker, who, at the time, was attending Fledge Prep. That's the most prestigious school within the city limits. Her family must be... She came from money, certainly. But when monsters tried to kidnap some of the students of her school, Amara chose to help stop them. I gave her a sacred feather, and she assumed the powers of Valkyrie Hrund, Lady of Grace and Beauty, gifted with the power of ice. Ice? She's a fantastic figure skater. There was thematic cohesion. I don't quite get... Unbeknownst to us at the time, Starna had also made contact with the also 15-year-old Milia Norden. Starna intervened when Milia was attacked, just like you were today. She gave Milia a sacred feather, and she assumed the mantle of Valkyrie Freya, warrior queen of light. But you were still separated. For a time, but soon we reformed and the girls worked as a pair, meeting and recruiting 3 more girls, until, one by one, the entire team came together as the Valiant Valkyries. Together, They used their powers to protect Midgard from Malfara, who at all times tried to sow despair. Then what happened? Well, the magical war raged for 7 years. Most weeks, Malfara would hatch some sort of diabolical scheme to try and create greater despair. One week, she hypnotized all the people in the city to refuse any marriage proposals. Another time, she made it so that no one could ever plug in a USB or HDMI cable without directly looking at it. That's Disney evil! Another week, she had a monster create haunted ice cream that... Beg your pardon, but none of these seem like world-ending scenarios. But these were merely the preamble, the first salvo in the war. Finally, Malfara pooled all of her magic, and from it birthed her most terrible weapon of all. Her son, the evil Prince Aquila. He arrived in this very park, at the head of an army of monsters. The girls fought him and his creatures right out to the streets, where, in a moment of triumph, Milia defeated him with an attack so powerful, a nearby building crumbled, and he was crushed in the rubble. But Malfara was still at large. Surely... I'm getting to that. Some of the girls wanted to leave it there, thinking this terrible blow might cause Malfara to end her campaign. But Amara was certain this would only strengthen her resolve. So the girls hatched a plan. Starna opened a portal to Niflheim, and the girls stepped through. There, they fought their way to the Palace of Darkness, and confronted Malfara in her lair. They clashed, and when all hope seemed lost, Milia destroyed Malfara's scepter. Without it, Malfara could not astral project or scry faraway things. If she wanted to continue her campaign, she would need to travel to Midgard and do it face to face. But she was also gravely injured, giving the girls a chance to escape. So they won? Not too shabby. Yes, the war was won, but at great cost. When Comet said that, I felt a wave of grief unlike anything I've ever known. Great cost? For now, all that matters is that they didn't leave Niflheim unscathed. All of us lost something that day. How poetic. What do you mean? You can post-rationalize it any way you want, Comet. But from where I'm standing, you recruited 5 impressionable 15-year-old girls and treated them as soldiers. Surely you can understand the problem with that? We gave them the powers to protect your world in the only way that we could. A power you yourself freely accepted only moments ago. I acted for the good of the realms. Our authority does not answer to you. I'm gonna let that go. For now. When the incident happened at the studio, Amara sent you to follow Starna. What happened? Starna opened a portal to Niflheim. For goodness sake, why? I don't know. I suspect, whatever the answer is, that it might resolve a number of mysteries. I followed her, but lost sight of her in the crossing. And by the time I reached the realm of despair, she was nowhere to be found. Time travels slower there, so for me, not much time has passed since your incident. Okay. Time to talk to Amara. No! Why not? After we defeated Malfara, the girls all gave up their powers. Like I said, the end of the magical war took a toll on everyone. Amara said she never wanted to talk about this stuff again. When I bring it up, she jokes, as if it was like an imaginary game played by kids. Fine. Then let's talk to Milia. No! Why not? Just like you, Milia took an oath to safeguard the secrecy of our powers. She'll deny knowledge up until the very end. She could be about to face the death penalty. It wouldn't be the first time she's defended this secret in the face of death. Can't I just transform and show her? You think you can do that without anyone else seeing? But... Ugh! There's gotta be someone else who might be able to help. Someone's gotta have known the girls for long enough to have some idea about all of this. I think I know who we can speak to. You think so? Let's just hope he's at the studio. Friday, March 6th, 10:25 a.m., studio lobby, day 3. Seems quiet. All the lights are off up there. Pretty fair to say no one's around. It's locked. I guess Lotta hasn't opened up yet. She'll be along soon, I'm sure. If we hang about for a little while, she's bound to turn up. Hey, Comet. This poster's of Malfara, right? Of her character in the show, yes. What's the difference? Well, in real life, no one knows how Malfaras truly appears. You don't know what she looks like? But I thought you said the Valkyries confronted her face to face at the end of the war. Malfara is a mistress of illusion. She can use that to appear however she wishes. So we've no idea if the Malfara we picture is really her true appearance. So if that's true, that means Malfara could have impersonated Milia or Amara or even Janus Duo. Sorry to wreck your train of thought, but that's not how it works. Why not? In our experience, Malfara can take the form of a person, but she's unable to duplicate or clone someone perfectly, someone you know quite well. So she could vanish into a crowd of people, but not, for example, impersonate your friend, coworker, or spouse, though that had the chilling effect of always making us wary of new people with whom we got involved. I see, that must have been a problem. The show's not complete fiction, though. Malfara feeds on people's despair and tries to create more. And with her magic, she can curse innocent people, as well as kidnap people and animals and turn them into monsters. Who plays Malfara on the show? She's entirely computer animated. She's one of the few things on the show that's made in that way. They outsourced it to an effects house, who also handled dubbing her voice with a voice actor. But due to how the show works, she's not on screen all that much. I can hear someone. Let's talk to Lotta. Good morning. Hi there. Continuing with your investigation? I would, but the doors to the soundstage are locked and I'm looking for Hank. I see. Hank told most of the studio staff to take the morning off due to everything that's happened. But I think that lawyer wanted to talk to him, so they should both be around. You mean Chad Hawk? That's the guy. I'll unlock the doors. Check the trailer yard. He might have just parked up. Do I need to take another viral test before I can go in? No. Honestly, a big part of that was trying to keep a lid on our insurance premiums. After what happened, that sort of precaution is like trying to whisper amidst a thunderstorm. Got it. Good luck with your investigation. Friday, March 6th, 10:25 a.m., Studio Trailer Yard, Day 3. Let's see. Oh, great. Chad. Let's see if we can get some time with Hank. Still seems locked. This is Janice's trailer. Locked. This seems different to the others. It's locked with a keypad that takes a 4-digit code. Hey, Nina. We need to talk. We're not done. Yeah, can you give us just a minute? Take a walk around the parking lot and I'll call you when I can. Fine, but as soon as you're able. Will do. After that, it'd be good if I could look through the 3 trailers. So... Chad wants to look inside the trailers. Are they open? I guess regardless of all this magical girl stuff, I still need to keep investigating the case. Plus... I wonder what else I can find if I take a moment to look around. I wonder. Locked. Let's see. Warning, do not enter. Severe risk of bodily harm. Risk of explosion. Explosion? This area is all marked out with what looks like hazard tape. And it's covered in burn marks. Also... Maybe Hank can explain this. Now there's a familiar set of wheels. Wait, wasn't this parked closer to the windows at the south end of the parking lot last time I was here? Another camera. Lotta said this one was damaged. This seems pretty secure. This is Amara's trailer. Still seems locked. I'll need the key to get inside. Maybe once he's done with Chad, Hank can open them up? This is Janice's trailer. Locked? This seems different to the others. It's locked with a keypad that takes a 4-digit code. Maybe Hank knows it. I'll find out once he's done with Chad. This is Milia's trailer. Still seems locked. I'll need the key to get inside. Maybe once he's done with Chad, Hank can open them up. Hey, Nina. Chad's gone? I ran into him when I was driving into the parking lot, so I just came straight through. He's gone to get some coffee before he gets started. I see. What's this thing on the ground? This? It's our testing platform. Testing? The team uses it to test out chemical combos for visual effects. It involves a lot of fire and mini explosions, pyro work. These slabs are made of a special silica compound. They're flame-proof. But I'm sure that wasn't why you came down to see me. Oh, right. The truth is, couldn't you... Woot! Fine, I'll beat around the bush. You've known Milia and Amara for the longest time, right? Years. Why? Also, why is Comet with you? Must have had its ups and downs, a friendship with people like that. Actors. Soldiers. Comet, don't tell me. It was unavoidable, Hank. So you do know. We were attacked by monsters in broad daylight. But still, couldn't you have gotten Amara to help? Amara doesn't want to deal with this stuff. I had to give Nina the powers of Valkyrie Brynhild. That's not gonna go down well. Do you think I had a choice? Okay, back it up! Hank, I want an explanation, and I want it now. How did you end up making a TV show about the exploits of several real magical girls? Okay. I've always known that the girls were Valkyries. Milia, Amara, then later Erica, Danny, and Kiara. We met many years ago. How? I was cursed by a monster created out of Malfara's magic. It's embarrassing. I transformed to wearing an armored bikini less than an hour ago. I'm sure you can manage. The curse made me terrified of all women. While under it, they looked like nightmarish monsters. Okay, I can see how that might be somewhat humiliating. It cost me my then girlfriend. This is pretty typical of Malfara's smaller schemes to try and create despair. It lasted a week, during which I nearly took my own life. But the Valkyries saved me. They destroyed the monster and I was free of the curse. But in doing so, I accidentally found out who they were. It was a problem. I'm starting to see why you were so determined to protect Milia. I told the girls that for saving my life, I'd do anything I could to help them. However, at first, there wasn't really much I could do. We were still busy with the magical war. But when that was all over, the girls gave up their powers. Problem is, being a magical girl doesn't exactly pay, and you can't put it on your resume either. Suddenly, they were just a normal bunch of young women in their early 20s, with no job history. So you created a TV show about their secret double lives? Surely that would violate their oath of secrecy. It's actually the ultimate disguise. Nobody would assume the actor who plays a superhero on TV was actually a superhero. The girls had literally years of adventures upon which to base stories. We could do 10 seasons before we have to start making new material. Plus, Milia and Amara are unique people. Amara is Amara, and Milia has her own eccentricities, like her habit of vanishing in the middle of the night with her motorbike. People expect actors to be eccentric types, so it just works. We essentially just created a show Bible from a summarized version of their adventures, and the studio bought it right away. I recruited the flirty dozen and got to work. But only Amara and Milia joined you? The others took different paths. Did my ears deceive me, or was there a tinge of sorrow in how he said that? Well, I'm glad to know that it seems like some of them did survive the final battle, because I was thinking that maybe they lost 3 of the members. But in any case, now you know how this all came about. Why was Chad here? He wants to look in the trailers. Do you want to, too? I really need to talk to Amara. But if Chad wants to investigate the trailers, I should probably do so as well. Oh, wait, that's right, I forgot. Janice's trailer has a 4-digit code lock. It was only fit recently. Do you know the code? Sorry, no. I meant to write it down, but didn't get the chance. Maybe I can contact the manufacturer. But don't hold your breath. Still, at least you have access to Amara's and Milia's trailers. I'll have to call Chad Hawk to say that he can examine them too. Anything else before I go do that? Actually, there was an awkward question thrown up by the trial. Hank, I need to ask about your keys. This closed-circuit TV showed Milia using a set of keys to access the weapons locker. But Kat Wheel said that the only keys belonged to you and her. She had hers in her possession and wasn't at the studio that night. I see where you're going with that, but I can't help you. I keep them in my jacket. That's this jacket I'm wearing right now. It normally hangs in my office, but I was wearing it while I was out on a date. Oh, right, Milia mentioned that. I hate to intrude on your privacy, but if I don't ask you first, then Chad Hawk almost certainly will. Can your date corroborate that? Can they confirm that you were out? Who were you with? I had wanted to avoid this, but I guess it was always going to come out eventually. I was with Devona. Your coworker? You don't approve? I didn't say that. Look, Devona might seem a bit flighty, but we've worked together for years and she's always been there for me. But it was just our first date, so I didn't want to jinx it. We walked out to a nearby sushi place, then the movie theater. Afterwards, I saw her to a cab, then I walked home. Got it. So I know it might be unavoidable, but please only tell those who actually need to know. Understood. Also, that's what the trash was for. Anyway, if that's all, I'm gonna go call Chad. Best of luck with trailers, and Amara. And with the magical godlike powers. Very funny. I guess we now investigate these trailers before Chad does. Hey, Nina! Now he shows up. Hey, is that all you've got to say? Sorry, Atalanta's got a bit of a situation. I know that! Then can you get off my back? Dylan, there's all sorts going around the city. That's why... And you could at least have called or left a message. I've been up all night and I'm in no mood to argue. Can we just move on? Well, are you okay? I'm fine. Though we still weren't able to find Ice Pick. Atalanta's partner? Not just him, either. A bunch of the bikers just seem to have up and vanished. Atalanta's trying to round up a few of the leaders to see if they can do some kind of head count. What's been going on here? Okay, so... Hoot! Isn't that a Mars bird? She's called Comet. Hoot! Honestly, though, it's too much to explain. But we just got access to Amara's and Milia's trailers. And I need to talk to Amara when we get the chance. Then let's get to it. Now, let's check out these trailers. So this is Amara's trailer. Let's get started. Wow, she has a lot of snacks. This is like a convenience store fridge unit. Must be nice. The kitchen area seems reasonably tidy. Fridge, nothing unusual. Some controls. Lights, aircon, seems pretty typical. Empty, empty. Oh, the bottom one has a few things that I think are Devona's. 4 acting awards. They're inscribed Best Newcomer, Special Recognition, and 2 for Best Supporting Actress. Amara and Milia became actors at around the same time, right? 4 awards in that time is kind of amazing. I guess Amara's whole diva shtick isn't entirely unjustified. A single bed looks quite ramshackle. Seems to be the only thing in this whole place that's like that. I don't suppose... I think Devona sleeps here. You think so? Judging by the way Amara treats her, I bet she's at her beck and call. You know, I heard people talking about Devona while on my way over here. Did you hear she isn't actually Amara's PA? I think she just got browbeaten into it. A photo of Amara, Janice, and Milia posing with what looks like the rest of the crew. Is it just me? Or does it look like there's some distance between Amara and Milia and Janice in that picture? Well, yeah, they aren't standing together. I didn't mean it like that literally. There's something written on the back. It says that Lotta Eiffel took the photo. What appear to be some script notes. These look like scripts for upcoming episodes covered with handwritten notes. What sort of notes? Strange. Wait a sec. These notes are as if Amara was rehearsing Milia's lines. Are you sure? Definitely. There were even catty comments about how she would run them differently to Milia's likely interpretation. And they're, well, mean. I thought Milia and Amara were friends. A bit of light ribbing is one thing, but some of these comments aren't the sort of a thing that a friend says. But why would Amara rehearse Milia's lines? I don't know, but it might be important. Excuse me. My voice is getting hoarse. I might need to end this early. The wrong leave-in conditioner. This was what Amara seemed to be practically losing her mind over. It seems Devona bought the wrong type. Yep, Dylan has amazing green hair. Doesn't seem like that a big a deal. Speaking as someone with hair like mine, come on now, I saw the face you pulled when she called you short. I won't defend how she was acting, but getting the right product is really important. You think I maintain this do with the power of positive thinking? Seems like it's the only bottle in here. Amara must have run out of some of her hygiene products at the same time. Ugh, she has some of my sympathy. She might not have been able to wash her hair for several days. comes cleaning. Must be nice to have your own ensuite. I guess you know how that feels. I get what you're saying, but somehow it's not the same. Excuse me. The carpet's a choice. I guess this way Amara walks the red carpet every time she gets out of bed. Some controls. What the? Whoa, is that what I think it is? Oh la la. It looks like a top shelf magazine called Milkers. Looks to be last month's. And you know that how? From the cover. I didn't show you the cover. I've seen it. In my possession. You buy pinup girly mags? Hey, don't kink shame. Besides, the articles are pretty good. Right. Looking through, it seems pretty tame, content-wise. Oh yeah, it might not sound like it from the name, but it's pretty classy. Just pinups, swimsuit pictures, glamour shots, they call it gravure. I'm familiar with the terminology. Still, I wonder why Amara has this. Did it occur to you that maybe she just likes it? I guess. A vanity dresser. I guess this is where Amara puts her face on if she's not filming. Huh? This drawer's open. Something's peeking out. Looks like a bound document. A shooting schedule? Wait. This is a schedule for the upcoming season, but it's been doctored. There are edits all over the pages in marker pen. What kind of edits? It's almost like... It's like Amara was working out how the shooting schedule would change if Amara became the lead actress. Wow! But wait! Why would she do that? I don't know. But it's a possible motive. What's up? My instincts are telling me that we're done with this trailer. Let's try one of the others. A double bed looks pretty plush. A double, huh? Who else do you think sleeps here? I'm guessing practically anyone Amara wants, should she be so inclined. A clothes horse. There's a sticky label on it. Costume returned to wardrobe. Alright, I'm going to end things off here because my voice is getting really tired and I want to take something for it. So we are going to raid somebody. Let me see who is streaming. Okay, we are going to return the favor to Silverstone Candor after he raided me earlier this week. Alright everybody, I'm going to end things off here for tonight, and when next we stream on Monday night, I believe I'm probably going to be switching to a new game now that we're done with Sakura Wars 2. And until then, this has been Jewelry Jelly with Jessica and George Washington, Washing Machine, and Dubai Pistachio Jenkins. And until we meet again, may all of your tea times be perfect.
BRB, I'll BRB. I do too.